fluff writing advice. Cut the fluff!
First drafts don't write themselves. I mean, you could hire a ghostwriter or get blackout drunk every time you sit down to write, and it might feel like that draft wrote itself. But in general, writing a first draft involves you actually writing it. How many first-time writers start writing a book and never finish? The number 97% gets thrown around a lot, but it seems to have been pulled right out of someone's imagination. Whatever the number, it's likely quite high. Why? Because writing a book takes time, effort, and persistence, just like anything else in life worth doing, like learning to play the harp. It looks hard, yet rewarding. Shout out to the harpists out there, all three of you. If you want to finish a first draft, the first step is to sit down and write. I bet you didn't expect that piece of revelatory advice. Absolute game changer right there. Sit down and write. What I mean is, don't procrastinate. If it helps, schedule blocks of uninterrupted writing time throughout the week. No distractions, no excuses. Even if you only get 10 words on the page in a session, that's still 10 words closer to done. Look at James Joyce. He allegedly only wrote 90 words a day. I mean, that number was probably pulled out of the same place as a 97% figure, but it does inspire confidence. It's also important to figure out how long it takes you to get into a writing flow state where the words just fall onto the page. If it takes you an hour to get the juices flowing, then your writing sessions should be longer than that. It also helps to know at what point the juices start to dry up and your unlubricated brain stops producing the goods, the good words, the good stuff. Well, I guess my time's up. Also, having an outline can help make writing time more productive, as you're always writing towards an important plot point or checkpoint. An outline can be as simple or as detailed as you like. Even just having an ending to write towards can help keep you on track. Not having a destination in mind can lead to senseless wandering, like if you left the house to go nowhere in particular. You just sort of potter about the place. Don't potter about in your first draft. When writing, to maintain momentum, if you need to leave placeholders where you can't think of the right word or line, just do it. Sometimes the finer details like a character name, place name, or even the right adjective can be added during the second draft. You can pretty much skip over any minor detail and fill in the blank later. For instance, if your novel is overly scientific or based on a historical event, stopping and starting to fact check can derail the writing process. If a detail isn't crucial to the development of the story, you can always just drop a placeholder, move on, and add the detail later. It might read something like, Keith was concerned about testing the particle collider without a more rigorous safety assessment, for when two protons collide. What happens when two protons collide? I don't know. Drop a placeholder. Maybe in brackets, write, I owe you a word, or I owe you a line, or I owe you further explanation. Whatever the placeholder, you can always come back wearing your super science fact hat later. To quite possibly quote Ernest Hemingway, who knows if he actually said it, the first draft of anything is shit. Yeah, I'm full of fake news today. My point is, don't aim for perfection with the first draft. Your goal should be to get all the words on the page at an editable level, not an edited level. If you're having trouble completing a first draft, don't edit as you go. Just slap the words on the page until they're all there, then go back and fix your mess. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you can't polish a turd. It's not true. As an editor, a professional turd polisher if you will, I assure you it is possible to turn shit into gold. It just takes some work.